Seeming family, I hope you're doing good. It's me, Massa. Sikamene, which means did you sleep well? I'm fine here, and I think you're also doing good. Today, Jean Thomas Sikamene, Luvuvamu, Yala. Today, I'm going to talk about a little bit about the church, what is called the Black Church in Africa. To the Most High Yata Tanzambia and Pungu Tulendo. I'm so glad, that I came with this name that I received from my forefathers, the Tanzambia and Pungu. And today, about him, not only the Tanzambia, but the Tanzambia and Pungu Tulendo. Very nice. So now, here we are, and it's nice to be here always on this platform and to share the truths that is hidden, but also that the people needs. The church. What does the church symbolize? It's a house built with stones. You have priests, you have evangelists, you have different kinds of teachers or people that are inspired by the Most High, leaders of the Most High that used to teach our people. And they say it's the house of the Most High. Okay, good. So you have the pastor, then you have the people that used to go to church because they believe that the Most High is a house. Okay, and then if they do not go to church, that the Most High doesn't listen to them. This is what the church symbolizes still today. Now, the church is nothing new. If we follow the scriptures very well, we're going to see that the church existed a long time ago. And people like Isaiah, people like Isaiah, they fought the churches. Let me just share the screen a little bit before I will start going deeper. Now, today, the adolescents or young adults are therefore often of good faith that this career aspiration or career choice would be a good or even a ideal opportunity to do something in the spirit of Yahya, and the churches strengthen them in the belief by even presenting this profession as a special calling, supposedly more than other professions involves a certain closeness to Yah or Christ. But anyone who seriously questions this will ultimately come to a different conclusion. Isaiah of Nazareth never appointed priests, pastors, or prophets or whatever, and he has not instructed any of his followers God, also, which means that become a theologian. That is to say, okay, we finish here. So what I want to say is this church system is a very, very evil system. It is a demonic, demonic system that is against the law of the prophet. It is against the law of the prophets. Not even if someone comes and say, yeah, the church, I don't like the church because they do not say the truth, but blah, blah, blah. But the truth, it is against the law of the prophet. This is where the problem is. Why? you don't have the freedom that you need. Everything that goes back to church, every assembly that teaches you church doctrines that brings you back to Christianity is demonic. Brothers and sisters, my from my side, I can explain you. When I grew up, and I used to attend the Turkish church from when I was young. That's why I knew a lot of songs, etc., etc., and I knew things that spiritually, everything was good. But when I truly woke up, which means when I start fighting against the principalities and signs and all these kinds of things in this world against the Muzungu, and I won the fight. The next thing was that I entered, it's like I woke up now and I entered again to the church, because all the time I was like party, doing my studies, living my life, you know, because this happens with many people. This is the good thing about church. If you was before you had a little connection to church, and maybe later you made your life, and the thing that you have learned can always bring you back. But if you never had a church background, or you never have been in the church, it's not easy for you to connect again to the church. It's like, because you don't have the background, you don't even know church. So I connected back to the church, and then what happened there was horrible. When I connected back to the church, um, everything was good in the beginning. I saw, because I didn't have any knowledge. Jesus had done this, Jesus have done this, and everything was okay for me, because this is what is written in the scriptures. But from my side, it was a Tokwist church also. So they spoke more about Simon Toko than Isaiah. This was one thing. Then the other thing was, there was no such thing as, how can I explain? Construction. There was no construction. There was no building. There was no, nothing that could, teach me so that I can move forward. And all this what I saw in the beginning was okay to accept and to listen to the same person each Sunday. But now I started to say, hey, the Most High is also revealing me things. The Most High is also revealing me things. He's also teaching me things. And I started to write a book. And I gave this book to the pastor and said, look, this is the Most High. He took it by force, and he was like, wow, what is this? You will write a new Bible. You will teach the people spirituality. Isaiah is not white. It's nothing for my church. And I say, hey man, this person that you teach every Sunday here, Simon Toko, him, he is with me. I'm with him, he is with me. And this what is written here, this is his mission. No, I know him better. What do you know about Simon Toko? What do you know about this church? We brought it here to Germany. I say, wow. I said, do you see that I brought to you more than 100 people to this church? White, black, I brought them to the church. Yay, that's why, my son, you have to calm down. Don't tell the people these kinds of things, what you have written. Just sit down there until your time will come. I say, what? I have to sit down there and to listening to crap. When Simon Toko was in the garden, when Simon Toko was drinking water, this is what I should listen to. Simon Toko here, Simon Toko there, Simon Toko here, Simon Toko there. This will not build us up. I brought you the people. I told you, because some things he is, there's some things that he was listening to, like like when I said we have to, all of us has to confess. All of us has to confess. All of us has to be purified, to call them wonder. These are the things that brought the church to become that, made the church to become that what it was then in that time. Hundreds of people came, young people, youth, very strong. They taught me because I was like a youth leader. He was like, he was like, you, the youth. But I couldn't say to the youth also what I wanted, because everything what the youth wants to say, he wanted to know, and he wants to show off that it comes from him, etc., etc. Okay, and I said, I started to talk to my mom and say, "Hey, mom, he is not smart enough. He is not fast enough. He is not understanding the things that I say." Oh my goodness. I think this was, um, I became the rebel in this church, especially because the Mwanda, the spirit inside of the church, was always telling them that this boy will lift up the church. This boy, it doesn't. The spirit of his wife, the spirit of the girls, to speak of, which means that the spirit was always saying you have to listen to this boy. And they, the elders of this church, they were like, this guy, we have to kill him, or we have to do something with him. And they were writing letters to leaders in the Tokus church here in Angola, and telling them, we have a boy here. In the beginning, there was like, we have a boy here. The spirit came over him. He heals. He promises. He knows things. He's the next Simon Toko, la la la. And the church here were completely against it and say, be careful of that guy. We have to know this guy, don't put into the place, la la. This is how it works. Side, the church, because I could see things. I see two worlds still today, right? I can see, if I see someone, I know if you're a good person or if you're a bad person. This is my gift. This is something I can take it from me. If I say you are bad, you're bad. This is how it works. Yeah. Because I can see two worlds. Maybe you see yourself, you're good from outside, but if that another say me, look, this person is this and this and this, leads this person. This is how I am. I already know my problem, but I know that you are not good. That's when I don't deal with méchant. I don't deal with wicked people. Yeah. So, like, my mission is to build the same place for my people. It's not just a place, but it should be saint. Okay. I only need good people around me. That's why you see that not many people wants to follow, because they know the guy will be like, I don't like this and this and this, and go and will throw me away. And this is exactly what I will do if I see wickedness. No, that's not that's not my problem here now. So the thing is, what happened during this time? The Tokus church from here, the leader from the Tokus church here in Angola, he started to prophesy. There is a young man, he will lead the Tokus church, this and this and this. And the elders in the Tokus church here, if he starts prophesying, he couldn't, the spirit came over him and he starts saying things, and they always took him, to say, you can't say those in front of the church because you are the leader. If you go out of leading something, if you stop leading church, what is with us? What is with our children? Normally in the ancient times, it is like when a new king borns or a new spirit borns, you have to follow the new spirit. He will tell you what to do in this time. He will give you instructions, etc., etc. And still today it exists. Still today, it exists. Like when I have an assembly, you see that the Most High is stronger, leading some, teaching, giving someone more revelations than you. You have to put him into the table, and you guys have to listen to that what the Most High have given them, so that you know how to lead the the tribes or the people. Okay, but not today. Or went so far into Catholicism that they say there is only one leader, there is only one pastor, there's only one evangelist, and etc., etc., etc. And all this goes back to the Christian background. So, and I started to doubt, and the church became a little bit problematic, because I was not a no one. I was the one that was evangelizing people. Still today, I never evangelized again since then, because I even don't know why people don't know how to evangelizing. If you know the scriptures, it's so easy. You can catch Muslims, you can catch Jehovah wickedness, you can catch them easily. Yeah, just go out and you challenge them, and you tell them, you tell them exactly what you believe, what is wrong, and etc., etc. They will come. If this is a spiritual church, then it's easy for them to stay, because the spirit will tell them, stay, this is your place. So but I wasn't this wasn't my place. This wasn't my place. I said no. I have to move, I have to bounce. And when they saw that I wanted to bounce, and the people started also to go, and the real problems came, that they started to say, "Hey, this young man, he's bringing trouble, etc., etc., etc." Now let us see what Isaiah has experienced. Okay, Isaiah has experienced from his own family. They started to say that he is a sorcerer, that he is like he is son of you know now here. Now, so first of all, this is very important. The priests came from idol worship. Very important to know. So here, you do not call yourself Rabbi, said Isaiah. Yeah, and not priest or theologian. Never Isaiah have used a theologian or a priest. He never said to his disciples, never said it. Isaiah had problems with the priests. Isaiah has problems. Moses has problems with the priests. Look. And one of the other problem is that the Tanzania always to the priest, and this is what happened today. The priest became Jesus, yeah, and he himself after that he calls Jesus and for the Most High, and this was also the last year completely to tell people pray to the Most High only, and it worked, and people understood it. Everyone that knows my community, I fought and fighting to praying to Jesus, praying to the Messiah or whatever, or my King. No. We have one King, one Spirit that we worship, and it is the Most High Spirit only. So now here, let's go read here a little bit. Priests and pastors, regardless or whatever they are criminal or last somewhat descends, always like to preach about the beautiful story of the lost sheep. Okay, this is Here, this is important. The violent arguments between Isaiah Christ and the theologians, the scribes, and the priests of his time escalated this execution of interpret man of Nazareth again and again. As long he was still able to do so, he warned the populations about his future execution. So it is called, okay. A large crowd was gathered and listened to him with joy. He taught them and said, "Be careful of the scribes." And they went at the front seats and the seat on at every feast. So, and they performed long prayers in their hypocrisy. Big. So they bind heavenly unbearable burdens, but they don't want to lift a finger for it's themselves. They do all their works so that people can see them and talk. One time, the self-absorbed priest senses a rival and adversary who exposed his the power-addicted priest is by no means an exception, and the higher one looks up the hierarchical ladder. The more seasoned, whatever the priest may be ordered, he is in any case a representative of the existing. The prophet, however, represents a construct that is fundamentally different from the priest. As a seer, he has to say what the Tanzambi is telling people today. Now, with other words, a priest, hates the prophets. And a priest is never a prophet. Never. Evangelist or whatever they used to call themselves, they are not prophets. Yeah, and that's why you see many of them, if they first time they come to something like a tabernacle, Tatanzambi tells them, they are like, yeah, I have done Tatanzambi's job. And Tatanzambi's like, no, you never did my job. And you're like, yeah, I was doing your job. I was evangelizing. I was, no, you made it for money. You made it for women's. You wanted to show off. You never heard my voice. You never heard my voice. You have to, you never heard my voice. So you became a theologian, yeah, so that you can make money, because theologian is it's a work. It's you never the Most High never called you. See all the Most High called, like Massa, Noah was drinking alcohol like crazy. Moses killed someone. He raised up in the Pharaoh's house. You have people like Saul. The people that Most High called Jeremiah, he put something in them, and they didn't come from the good neighborhood. No one, the most of them, they wasn't like, yay, I love you, Father, I want to become a priest because they are right. That's why the Tanzambi gives this example from the two sons. One of the sons, he was always obeying the father, and the other son, he was a rebellion. He loved women's, he loved party, he wanted to know what's going on in the world, so he far away to do his life. And when he came back, the father made a party like he have never done before for the one that came back. And the other one that stays at home, he was like, hey, father, do you not have a blessing like this for me too? And the father saying, no, you know everything. What do you want? That's why the last will become the first, and the first will become the last. And this is what the most of the people do not want to understand. And this boy that came back, he becomes stronger and he is smarter because he knows what means hell and he knows what it means good, bad, and good. But the other one, he just stay there. He know only the good things. He can't lead. He can't lead. And this is something that the most of the people do not understand. Why Isaiah went to the church and started to throw away all the gold and all the money that was sitting there, all the businesses, and saying, "This is my father's house. Don't do this kind of crap." Okay, or you know, all the prophets that came out and started to fight against the priests and telling them, "Look, these people they will be in captivity," and the prophets even tried to kill them. You know, people like Isaiah were killed by priests. Okay, people like John the Baptist, yeah, they had problems against, people like Daniel. They have problem against scientists and priests, or people that used to look at the stars and whatever. Brothers and sisters, you can talk to them still now in the time of changing, where they used to understand certain things and which kind of time we're into. They were still calling the Jay-Z name. They were still telling you stories that is completely contradictive against the law or against the scripture. You will be like, what? When will these people understand that, that when will these people understand that they're deceiving our people? When will these people start community? Because if you have people around you, you have power. You can build cities, you can build streets, you can build houses. You can, you have scientists there, you have healers there, you have, you have builders there, people that used to construct. You have doctors there. You have an empire. Why can't you help our people to get work? Very easy. It's because these people are not called for that. They are not called to do so. If we want someone to do so, the Tanzania always sent someone. He will do it. Simon Toko Church together. The Kimbangu, when he died for his people. Simon Toko died for his people. Today, they themselves died. They don't have the money that like the people have today in the church. They don't have the white people coming to the churches supporting, and they didn't have this freedom like the church leaders have today. This freedom, okay? Because the church leaders have freedom today. They have peace. They are business people. They are negotiating. Okay, but in that time they used to go to jail in and out. The women was raped by white people fighting. These people were different kinds of people. This is why if I always used to laugh if people say, "Massa, what is with your life? What is with your life?" Okay, I am at war. I'm not sitting there eating fufu and watching my wife what she's doing and saying I'm an elder and whatever. This is something what you can do in America or whatever. What kind of mission you guys have? People, yeah, they're just watching this channel to just put all the notes and take it somewhere. And this is my mission. I'm building up the kingdom. People like us, they do not recognize us until we die. Okay, then they understand. Oh man, all this. But each star has his mission. Each star has his position. Okay, and this is how it should be. And there is in the Apocrypha, in the book, it is even said that the person that helps and does a lot for other people, mostly he dies poor. or stays like that. Simon Toko, Simon Padi, Simon Kimbangu, Mama Kimpavita, all these people. The work. When Paulus was traveling, did he travel without money? Was Paulus poor? Was Abraham poor? Was David poor? Was Solomon poor? All these people were leaders, and all the people surround them had money and they had wealth, and all of them had something. Which means, how can that be that pastors today leading churches, driving big cars, having private jets, having different kinds of houses, yeah, marrying different kinds of young women, and the church leaders too? I can tell you stories about the Tokris or YouTube and type Kimbangi's church, pastor catched with women's. You would see him there naked. Tokris church the same. Or you go to the Tokris church and you start asking people what's going on with corruption here. The leader himself has property, but the church is like, no, he's my leader. I believe him. Blah, blah, blah. Doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. Where does this come from? All these corruptions, because this word prophet is a very dangerous name. A very dangerous name. A prophet is a god here on earth. A god. The God that you worship. You can go to a prophet. He can say, here, open up, finish. Your life changed because he's a prophet. Okay? But if you see you're going more than 30 years to church and you still don't have a car that you want to buy, that you can buy, something is wrong. Because no one was dying. No one was dying hunger when he was walking with Moses. No one was dying hunger when he was walking with Abraham. And all of them did business. All of them were scientists. All of them were healers. It doesn't make any sense not to know about science, not to know about who the Most High is, who the ancestors are, our medicines, not to know what to do with our land, not to know what to do with our resources, not to go to politics and putting people there that working from inside the politics. It doesn't make any sense. The church is evil. Evil. The church is evil, 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 evil. Never ever Isaiah went and say, hey, yeah, build me a church. Or he went, when the people came out of the church, he started praying outside. And started, no, this is the truth, not inside. Because the church is not outside, the church is inside of you. You are the church that you are searching for. You are the God that you are searching for. You do good, you're good. You're bad, you're bad. The Most High Spirit. When will our people understand it? Yeah, people searching for Most High somewhere when the Most High is in you. Are you righteous? Do you know yourself? Then you see that everything will start, come out of you. That's why they say pray. You don't pray for others only. You pray also for yourself. Tata, give me, help me, Father, do this for me. So you are taking the light that's inside of you, which is the Most High, to do something inside of you. You are the living God. You are the temple. My people die poor. My people still today do not know their own history. They do not accept the prophets. They do not accept their history. They do not want to know. Muzungus are their friends. Everything. They do not even know how to build streets. Look at how garbage how Africa looks like. I don't believe that. The same thing happens in America. It's not only in Africa. The priesthood has nothing to do with the priests that you see today. Nothing. The priesthood from Massa, Levites, and all these kinds of things, it has done and hold the scepter of the Most High. This has nothing to do with church ministry. And we have to know that. We have to know that. Yeah. This is not an attack against anyone, but I would just want to make you clear that the Most High is judging the churches. It's prostitution. Prostitution. Okay? Not only the church leaders are prostitutes, but the women inside the churches are prostitutes. Okay? This is what is happening in the church. They do not like the Spirit to speak. When the Spirit starts speaking, it starts revealing what is happening in the church. Like you see in the scripture, it said, let the Spirit tell you. The Spirit used to tell to the mass, this and this is that. Go now fast assembly. Now, in this time here, we have to prepare because there in Russia, war will come. We will also be there manifesting with prayers. This is the scriptures you will read. This is the rituals we will do. But no church does it because envy, wickedness, hate is inside the church. And if the Spirit starts speaking like that to people, there is no church no more. Okay? Now, thank you very much for listening. And now you understand my point when it comes to church and why I have a problem against pastors. I do not believe in pastors, not even a little bit, because they will always tell you the same thing. Yeah, Jesus is God, and he never said so. And I know that he's God because you're God as well. And we are supposed to do God's work, which means Tatanzambi's work. And if we don't do it and we're still waiting for someone to do it for us, this is the tree, the fig trees, yeah, that doesn't bring any fruit. Okay, these are the people that just waiting others to do their jobs. They're waiting for others to do their jobs. This is not okay. We don't need people like that. We are in a revolution, and in a revolution, we don't need governors. We don't need politicians to do this for us. Like at the moment, you see many people wants to work with the politicians, wants to work with the government. When did the government or politicians, like I heard a long time ago, to work with people and governors and politicians in Cameroon and in the Congo? My goodness. What did the governor, the politicians, all these kinds of people do for us in all this time? They are the worstest enemies from the Most High. They hate the Most High's people. And this is another thing. Most of the priests, they work with them together. If you look at the Kimbangis church, why is the Kimbangis church still there when Kimbangu had to offer himself in front of the government because of his miracles that he did, because he was a rebellion? He was a revolutionist. And after that, they're starting killing and always raping. These people are crazy. The church. starting burning our houses. It's there in the Congo story. It's nothing that you can hide. They're starting to do it with the Tokuish people in the north, raping, killing. The church that say, yeah, white people are good. Yeah, Romans, Catholic, they did good things. Oh, Pope, they're inviting these kinds of people to our churches today. What did the politicians do? They helped them. The politicians, they helped them. They churches from the Muzungu to kill our people. And what is happening today? You can see they build big churches. They are building big churches. How comes? Because they work together with the politicians to rob our people, but also to receive from the other side. Tanzania have never accepted this. The Tanzania have never accepted this. They work with the government together to rob and steal. If not the government, if not the church, because the church can never take the politic out from the church. It's the same thing. It always worked like this. Everything that goes to science, politics, and all these kinds of things needs a bigger hierarchy, and it's the spiritual. It's the spirituality from the country. Because the spirituality doesn't ally with the politics normally have to destroy the church. But what happened is that the church becomes the politic. So all of them are politicians. All of this Tokuish politicians, all of the Kimbangist leaders, politicians. Big politicians, real politicians. What the politics says, this is what they say. Vaccine, yes, please, all the people must be vaccinated. This is what is going on. You see? So it doesn't make any sense. Okay? Oh, pastor, he's a big prophet. Pastor, he prophesies. And then you talk to him, his prophecies are good. You say, do you know that we are the Hebrews of the Bible? No, not my Jesus. You must be from the devil. Hey, you are so gifted. You are so gifted. You heal, you know how to help people. No, not my Jesus. I saw the devil in the night inside of you. You're misunderstanding the scriptures. Then you see the pastor, the gay comes out of the pastor. Then you see he never understood what is really going on. You know, he only wants his perspective. He's just a pastor. I saw pastors really in front of the Most High. I did this. I did church ministry. I help people. I teach people. The Most High is like, no, I don't know you. Maybe you come now to me and then you start. And that's why the Bantu truth was an impact. I saw people saying, saying here and there, oh, the Bantu truth is false. And still now they're teaching there. Oh, Bantu here, Bantu there, Tatanzambi, Tatanzambi, Tatanzambi. Tatanzambi is everywhere in people's mouth. But they never recognize where these kinds of things comes from. They never recognize the people that have they never recognize the people that was telling them, go back home, do the visa, do the go to go do agriculture, do this. They do not even want to know. But here we are. Welcome to the jungle. This is just the beginning. In Geta. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters. Here is the very morning here now, and 18 people watching is a lot. And if you have ideas, contact me, contact the other sisters and talk to them. You know, we are open for everything, you know, and one day the Tanzania will unite all of us, also the priests. But Isaiah said, even a war woman will make it before the priests to come into the Most High's Most High's world. Why? And people that say, I keep all the commandments, I am the commandment holder, you are a damn liar. A damn liar. In this world here, this is another world. If you are living in another world, when you sleep, you say, yeah, I'm a saint, whatever. This is another world. Maybe you do not understand your sins. Because if you start saying things like that, it is like you say that you are the Most High. So you are, and you have no place in my where I am. You are a fucking liar. Your complete ministry is wrong. Yeah? This is the hypocrisy of the Hebrew Israelites. This, we are here saints and this, Kram Rasharat, but doing things that is wrong. Dangerous people, very dangerous. People do not understand what things. Okay? You have to be very careful. It's okay to be among people who understand the priesthood, blah, blah, blah. But there are certain things, if they do not understand, and you're like, why do they not understand it? And you will be like, I think there is a handicap there. I have to be careful. Time is that what heals all wounds. We have to give everyone time. The Tanzania say, if someone sins against you, even 1 trillion times, forgive him. This is what we do. And we will always teach, receive. And in the end of the day, the Tanzania will reveal who his son is. That's the only thing that I can say. Ingeta, thank you very much for listening, and share and work on that things that I have said. Be careful. We in the Congo, we have one word, that one thing that we say, even a little boy can play drums and elders can start dancing, which means also a young boy can tell you the truth and tell you something and say, do this. If it is the truth, if it is inspired, good thing, receive it. Don't ignore or deny it. Because if you do, you will die. Joseph was sent to Egypt by the Most High. The brothers wanted to kill him, but he was the one who saved his brethren. He was the one who was chosen among them. In Geta.